Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We actually missed a day, so I'll get into that at the end of showing everyone what we are shipping out today. Is it Friday? I think it's Friday. I actually lost track of days, but I'll explain that at the end. All right, so the first thing that sold is right here. Is going to be like an FB Rogers like peanuts like metal. This is like either like a case. It opens up, it splits in two. I think the previous owner used this as an ashtray. I cleaned it out as much as I could and took good pictures. I think we probably got this at like an estate sale, like a bulk buy. This looks like something that we see on like a desk or something. It was unique. It had like a little vintage sticker on it, so I was able to look it up. Whatever FB Rogers is, I don't know what that is. But this ended up selling for $12 plus shipping. We do plus shipping for everything, so I'll just save us some time right now. All right, next up is some teddy bears right here. These are going to be two little teddy bears with their tags. One's going to represent, I think, the New York police station and then the fire department. So yeah, we normally don't grab too many plushies these days. These sold as a pair for $12. So yeah, there you go. All right, next up is like a little nerdy item. These right here are going to be two little sprues for Warhammer, I believe Fantasy. These are the Skavens, the rats. These are a bunch of different shields and like little parts you can put on them. So yeah, just little sprues like this do pretty well for us. These end up selling for $15 for these. It looked like actually, I think someone primed it with like a black primer. So these are like ready to paint. Some people just like straight up just like let this stuff, they spray it on the sprues, they hang it up somewhere, let it dry outside. It's easier that way for some people. So yeah, that's pretty cool. These are ready for painting for someone. All right, next up is a Hot Topic bag. We've been selling a bunch of these. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do a video yesterday, but we sold a combo order of two of these to someone. This is just straight up like a mid-2000s Hot Topic, a bag you would get when you buy like jewelry and accessories and stuff. They were still in really good condition. There was like no holes. These bags were actually pretty good quality. This ended up selling for $19.19. We got this from the people we got the catalogs from. So it was like really cool stuff. We also got other Hot Topic stuff. We sold like the belts and like the bracelets and other stuff. We still have a couple more things listed from them. All right, next up is something I got from the person where we got like a bunch of like the Lord of the Rings collector's book that sold and like the anime figures. This was another one of their Japanese like learning to write kanji books right here. This is the kanji, remembering the kanji part 3. So yeah, these did, I ended up buying like a box of them from him. He didn't care too much about them. I had no idea how they were going to do. And then they've been selling pretty well. I was hoping to get like $5 or $8 or $10 at most for most of them. This one ended up selling for $19.19. So that was just like good extra profit on that whole purchase. We both didn't know how they would do. He didn't really like write in them. They were just for like reading and learning. You can like scan sheets and learn that way. All right, next up is something we haven't sold in a while, but we do work on this stuff, brochures. I don't think we've listed any in a long time. I have almost all the brochures that we've ever sourced listed. We probably have a few hundred, maybe more. This is a cool, what was this? Yugoslavia brochure map. So it's, yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, people love this kind of stuff. So yeah, the actual map is in pretty good condition. The little like container outside is kind of has like a little bit marked so it wouldn't wear. I think we got this from an auction house, I believe, when they were like moving locations. I think this was in our pile of stuff we purchased from them. It was $22.39. So it was a pretty cool like sourcing opportunity. It was like an auction house local to us that was like been around for a while, and they were shifting warehouses. And then obviously they have a bunch of stuff that people just have left over the years, and he basically writes it into his like little contracts, like if you leave your stuff here for years, it's going to be mine at that point. So then he just needed to like sell a bunch of stuff because he didn't want to like haul every single item over to his new auction house. So it was a really cool, fun sourcing opportunity. I think that was like last year. All right, next up, I can't really open this up because it's already sealed. These are going to be miniatures for a board game, I believe. Not one that I've ever played or heard of, but Hannibal, Rome versus Carthage. These are general figures, expansion. They might have been like promo figures for the game. Maybe they had like cardboard standees and then you upgraded with figures, or maybe these are more of them if you just wanted miniatures. So yeah, they're pretty good quality. They're like a couple inches high. These sold to a repeat buyer, so they've been keeping an eye out on our random board game stuff or miniature stuff. It sold for $19.99, which is awesome. All right, moving along. I've had a bunch of this particular book, the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring Strategy Battle Guide book for the Games Workshop Lord of the Rings miniature game. I haven't run across many of the miniatures. I've sold a couple of broken ones in the past where like people had to re-glue an arm on or something. Never had any of the cool characters or painted ones, but I do keep an eye out for the actual miniatures because they sell really well. People love Lord of the Rings, and this is a full-fledged like game by Games Workshop. The core, like this core Fellowship rulebook sold for $9. I think the Two Towers and the Return of the King books do sell for more. So I've sold like the lot of 3 for like 30, 40, or 50. It's been a while since I've been able to get like part 2 or part 3 for the books. But yeah, $9 for this is not too bad. I probably have, I remember I've probably sold this particular book like 10 times over, and I might still have a bunch listed. I actually don't know off the top of my head. All right, next up is some cool Warhammer 40K bits. These are going to be Tyranids. Tyranids, I believe, are kind of like, if you think StarCraft, they're going to be the Zerglings. If you watch movies, I think it's like Starship Trooper. It's like those like aliens with like the claws and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what kind of like bits and pieces these are. So yeah, they're just bits and pieces. Not a lot of people care about the bits and pieces. They just want to get like the full boxes or the full screws. So I do pretty well at places where I can pick these up pretty cheap. This ended up selling for $19.99. I actually got these in a huge bin at the local auction we went to in the past month or so. It was, I bid it up to $40. It was just a big bin of, someone had all of their bits and pieces organized by faction and race in a bunch of jars. I think I got like 40 or 50 listings out of them at various different prices, depending on like what faction they were and how many pieces. So this is like 50 to 60. I think I did 50 plus in the title, and I think there was like 60 something pieces. So yeah, that's pretty cool. People like to modify their figures. They like to fix their broken ones. They like to put the little bits and pieces on the bases of miniatures. They do a lot of stuff. It might be just a custom project unrelated to Warhammer. So yeah, people love bits and pieces. I love listing them, and it's easy to find. All right, next up is going to be just a sci-fi book. This ended up selling for $6. Horn, Hot Zone, that's it. Sorry, by Horn. I'm not sure if that's like the series, and then the title's Hot Zone by Ben Sloan. I don't know anything about this one, but you've seen on our channel that we get like a bunch of huge bulk buys of different kinds of books. Sometimes there's sci-fi books in there. Sometimes I list them separately just because that's just what I decide for the day, just to see how they do individually versus when I lot them up. So yeah, this was just happened to be in a box of like ones where I listed individually just to see how, like I said, how they do. $6 for that is not too bad because I get them really, really cheap. I do enjoy listing books. It's pretty easy for me. All right, next up is a PC game right here. You see I sell PC games, Sword of the Stars right here. So yeah, I don't know anything about this one. I've never played it, but it had an interesting enough cover, so I grabbed it. The box is in good condition. It actually looks like the game is actually still sealed inside there. They didn't always have like a wrap around the whole thing, so the wrap's actually on the inside, and then like taped to the cover or whatever, this box here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This ended up selling for $10, so it wasn't like a crazy popular one for people, but I'll take that any day, all day. I love selling the PC games, especially ones that I haven't seen before, and I know like that stands out. Just like the art, it looked interesting enough. All right, and then the last thing for the day right here is going to be a pack of 3 Napoleonic little metal miniatures. We sell a bunch of these. These are like little artillery cannons with like wheels and no particular infantry. I forgot what particular skill, 15 millimeters. Sorry, I just had to look it right down there. It's labeled NE21, so I didn't know what that was other than I just labeled it. Sometimes I can find these like fan websites where they actually like break down like what NE21 would mean, and then sometimes I don't have luck with finding exactly how to label these, so then I will just be like, these are artillery. I can tell. I take a bunch of pictures. I lotted these up together. They were all NE21. So yeah, it probably stands for Napoleonics. The E probably stands for maybe like a country or something like that, or maybe like a section of miniatures for the company. I'm not too sure. These sold for $21.59. So yeah, that's everything. So the reason why we missed a video yesterday, it was like 8 or 9 items that sold, because we went to a convention yesterday called Gamehole Con. It's like an RPG-centric convention. So the issue with our eBay and then doing like a convention like that is we wanted to get to the convention early at like 8 or 9 in the morning, which meant that we had to like sleep earlier in the day. But here's the problem. On Wednesday, we had to prep our eBay stuff that we're going to ship out for Thursday. And the problem is we needed to be in bed at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. so we could wake up early. But we have our shipping on where anything that sells all the way up to 2 in the morning, we need to ship out the next day. So I pushed it as far as I could. We got like 6 or 7 items sold by the time I went to storage unit early, had no time to make a video at all because we also have like a bunch of chores to do and stuff. It takes a lot of work to like get ready to do something when you're like just like, oh, taking this day off, especially for eBay. It's pretty rough. You have to front load the work, right? Oh yeah, we don't really do. We haven't done vacation mode in forever. I think we did it like one time or twice. I can't even remember when. So yeah, we don't like to do vacation mode. We were gonna be back the next day anyways, like today. So it's not a big deal. The convention we can drive to. It is a drive. All right, I'm now like rambling. I got sidetracked at where I was. But the point was, we had to ship out stuff. We had it packed the night before. The problem that happened was we did have 3 items that sold between when we packed them to 2 in the morning. So when we were on our way to the convention, we actually dropped off our original 7 packages. We were gonna just take so those got dropped off at a different post office. You can do that. They were scanned. We got the receipts, and then the 3 items we were just gonna kind of take like the hit, like the 1-day delay, which is pretty rough. Like we do feel like when we miss shipping an item, it just feels like our shop goes like just like dives down just for like a day or something, or half a day or some hours. Like there's no real like proof of it, but we feel the algorithm like slaps us in the face for it. All right. But then we ended up not staying at the convention too long. It was a smaller convention than we thought. And then we have a 4-day pass, so we can go today if we want, or the next 2 days, which we might. But yeah, so then we did end up coming back and shipping the last 3 things with like 10 minutes to spare at the post office. So yeah, no time for a video for all of that. But yeah, I just want to talk about like how we go about it when we are not doing vacation mode and you still have to care about your customers and get the stuff shipped out. All right, so yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Have a good one.